a democracy, we must continue to invest in broadening and diversifying our media. We actually need more voices, more diversity. So I want to say that Kofifi and those in the stable of the community media, you guys are doing a great job. You are the true representatives and the voice of our community.
Alweer masekinders, kom kuier saam in Kofifi land, waar ons jong en jukkerig is.
Waar ons staan tel met ons helden. En waar ons piks en fliks is.
We're looking forward to host many of these type of events, and from the feedback that we got from the ladies is that they truly enjoyed it.
Tune in and join us for the next Queens and Princesses event.
Want to be part of a women's empowerment experience where you can network and strengthen professional relationships? Queens and Princesses proudly presents In Her Shoes with guest speakers Volente Moraes, Charmaine Slade, and Rhoda Grootboom. On the 2nd of September at 10 a.m. at the Roodepoort Theatre for only 200 Rand per person. Bring out your best denim wear or anything blue and we'll see you there.
Wordfest 2017.
Rowan Happy.
God is an absolute being, which means he has no end.
Angelo Gelderbloem.
And so they believed in the system rather than the God of the system.
Roche Smith.
God doesn't dwell in the midst of pity. He dwells in the midst of praise.
Azziz Kara.
It gives us the authority to trample upon snakes and scorpions.
You can get the Wordfest take-home experience for only 260 Rand at Kofifi FM 97.2 at number 450 on Deckers, Florida Park. To place an order or to find out about individual prices for CDs and DVDs, please contact Maika Davids at 011 472 9233.
Attention grade 9 to grade 12 learners and all young people who wish to study. NSFAS and NYDA have partnered to increase your access to funding. You can apply now for financial assistance at any NYDA office nationwide. Go to www.nasfas.org.za to find an NYDA office nearest to you.
I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how disappointed dream. That dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible.
My dream is movie director,
movie star,
doctor, entrepreneur.
I want to be the best president in the world.
Most people, they raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves. That a lot of people like to complain, but they don't want to do anything about their situation. And most people don't work on their dreams. Why? One is because of fear. The fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? These are not risk takers. And even though you face disappointments, you have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
Now welcome to the Paradigm Shift, where we bring a different perception in the understanding and the interpretation of your life and your world. And you know, when the clock strikes 6 o'clock, you know what to expect. It is Kofifi FM 97.2, and it just went 8 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. This right here is the TPS, the Paradigm Shift, as we have come to know it every Tuesday and Thursday right here at home, which is we call Kofifi FM 97.2. Thank you so much to the company of the K Drive that just exited now. That is Reggie Lee and Karabo Pasha, the one that is always trending. Thank you so much that they've driven us from 3 to 6 o'clock, and now we've taken the baton to 7 o'clock. Right here in studio with me is Dr. Richie. How are you doing, sir?
I'm blessed and highly favored. And how are you, sir?
I'm all good.
Awesome.
This hour always brings excitement to me, simply because, you know, there's always an element of when we exit the building, I've learned something and we have taught something.
Yes, sir.
And I think that is the most imperative thing or the aspect of why we are here each and every Tuesday and Thursday, so that as iron sharpens iron, we walk away sharpened much more, so that we go in life and be victorious at all times. Well, it is another evening, and like we said, it's a Tuesday. We're going to deal with another pertinent issue. As we've made mention, if you are looking via the streams of social platforms, we've already alluded to what we'll be talking about tonight, and that is failure.
Yes, sir. Confronting failure.
Confronting failure.
And there was something you just said now that is profound. When you said that when we meet and then we talk and then iron sharpened iron.
Yes, sir.
There are two things everybody need to know at the end of every day. Who did I meet? What did I learn?
Wow.
Who did I meet? What did I learn? I learned that from John Maxwell. That's not my idea. But that was profound. And he said that he started doing that. Over time, he started realizing how much he learned meeting people. When you don't have the mindset that says, what did I learn from meeting you today? I met Elias. What did I learn from him? So it ends up with, what did you learn from me? That becomes an attitude problem.
Yes, sir.
But I need to come to the place where, what did I learn from you? What did I learn from Pops today? What did I learn from the guys that just finished their show? If I didn't learn anything from them today, they played my I love song. That song that's called Who Is Fooling Who? I love that song, you know. Yeah. But today we're talking about confronting failure. Successful people are quite different from those that don't succeed. Whether formally or informally, successful people have developed the power to produce exceptional results over time, not one night. Over time. Now, there are things about success. To be successful, you have to desire it. You must develop the skill, watch this, that turn your dreams into crystal clear. I'm not saying crystal clear goals, no. Into crystal clear future expectations.
All right.
Now, expectation that I'm talking about must be time and connected to time. You must have a crystal picture of what you expect to see happen. There is power in expectation. Now, that expectation must be tied to time. If there is no expectation, nothing will drive you to move. It is to move it from dream to expecting it to happen, For it to happen, you have to expect it. It is powerful. But watch this. Expectation, believe me, is not a guarantee that it will come to pass. So I laid that first because we're about to deal with and confront failure. Now, Brother Elias, how do we begin to deal with that? We need to create what I call a self-psychology.
Okay.
Self-psychology is where I produce or put an atmosphere that makes it very easy for you to be comfortable to discuss with me. If there is a self-psychology in a workplace, in a business place, in a family, it is an environment that makes people comfortable when they have missed it for them to be able to talk about it.
Okay.
If you look at the story of the prodigal son, the father created a safe psychology.
Okay.
The Bible says he waited for the boy to return home. He gave him an opportunity. He created an environment. So when he returned, he was trying to say, let me be like a son. But he said, no, you don't need to be there. No, bring the best this, bring the best that. He created an environment for him to succeed. If we don't create a safe psychology for people, they will go down. It is what I call a refreshing environment that makes it easy for who has missed it to find their way home. It helps to pave way. When it paves way, it helps to crush. This is important. This is important. Pay attention to this. When I learned this, it changed my whole life. It helps to destroy what I call isolation that failure brings into our life.
Wow.
Failure, Brother Elias, will move you to what I call isolation. And you know the other word that is powerful and wicked around failure? It is called a stigma. I'm not touching it right away.
Okay.
And when failure is exposed through this means of creating a self-psychology and safe environment, it loses the power it has over the victim. Failure, if I can put it another way, is like what you call a python. A python crawls around an individual, doesn't bite but strangles.
Little by little.
Little by little squeezes the person. That's exactly what failure is doing to somebody listening to us today. It's quietly killing you. It's strangling you. And you are actually left alone. But when it is exposed, when there is a self-psychology, an environment, it loses the grip it got over its victim. Embrace it when it happens. Learn from it when it happens. Build on it when it happens. But here is the magic word or language. Failure is not a person, it is an event.
Failure is not a person, it is an event.
When Jesus met Peter, he was a failure. His fishing business was not doing well. When Jesus spoke to Peter, Peter still denied him. And the rest of the apostles ran away. They failed Jesus when he needed them. But did you notice that when he got out of the grave, the first thing he said, go and look for Peter. And tell him I'm alive. He created an environment. The first thing he did when he met with Peter was bride. And Peter was like, well, Master, is that you? He created that environment. What makes a great boss is to create a self-psychology for those that missed it. It makes them better and stronger. And watch this. When we don't create it, we make them isolated and we make people speak down on the people. And this is what society has done. When people fail, we kill them. Failure, among many other things, brings stress to people. It brings anxiety to people. It brings self and ecological condemnation. Now, self-condemnation is the one you do to yourself. Ecology represents people close to you. And that includes friends. That includes family. Those that say to you wouldn't work. It brings low self-esteem. It is seen as a reflection of yourself and your competence.
Dr. Richie, can I ask?
Yes, sir.
Because it is an event, this being failure, why is it then that we as humans have taken failure to be such a dismal thing in our lives? Why is it that we can deem success and the failures towards that success as you know, useless, if I may put it that way? Why is it that we look at failure from a negative aspect.
You see, my problem tonight is that, Elias, you're being too forward. I'm going to talk about this, my brother. Just give me some time. I'm coming to that. Allow me to talk. Don't get into my script tonight.
I apologize.
Please, apology accepted. In fact, before I go into that, let me put it this way. 2 people you can learn from.
All right.
2 people you can learn from. The first one is when it doesn't work. That's why the Bible said you go to the ant. No, do you notice that when an ant sees a crumb and it tries to push it, it doesn't work. The ant goes round it. It doesn't work. The ant climbs on top of it. It doesn't work. The ant goes back and calls family. And all of a sudden, that breadcrumb is lifted up and they are moving with it. An ant is not ashamed to call family for support in order to move where they couldn't move.
Yes.
Who are the other 2 you can learn from? Learn from sports people. I'm not saying emulate politicians around the world.
Yeah.
Learn from politicians. Have you ever noticed that you have watched somebody fail election a couple of times? They still came back and won election. When they failed, they lost the election. What happened? When they lost it, what did you do? You laughed. You talked about them.
Yes.
Newspaper wrote about them. The radio talked about them.
Yes.
But you notice they didn't stop them. They still went back again. And what happened? Over time, you start looking for their number. Suddenly you call them your excellency. They refuse to give up where you give up.
Oh.
The other people to learn from, sports people. You watch them lose. You watch them go back and they didn't get there.
Yes.
But one day you notice they came back. The whole stadium stood up for them. Reality is that we often don't talk about failure positively. You see yourself and people see you as a loser. We don't discuss it positively. Now, our culture values, that's where I'm talking about what you asked me now.
Yes, sir.
Our culture values success and achievement and makes heroes of people that do extraordinary things. But we generally don't talk about people that tried and they failed. You know why? Because there is a stigma attached to failure. And you don't know why people don't make it. Because failure comes with what? A stigma. And nobody wants to be stigmatized. Government around the world, not one place, around the world, encourage people to fail. They stigmatize you. The banks stigmatize you. Credit bureaus stigmatize you all over the world, not one place, people. Because we got people plugging from different parts of the world. When you fail and you go to the bank, what do they tell you? We can't give you. You know why? We don't trust you. You failed. Who is it that should put the law to protect entrepreneurs? Government.
Yes.
So, but they don't do. So what happened? The credit bureau is created by who? By Jesus? No. It's created that if you don't pay the bills, you're going to come. Yes, I know sometimes people don't pay, but what happens to an entrepreneur that tried and didn't get it? What happened? Your name goes down. And what happens? Nobody want to give you anything again because you are not credit worthy. Why? Your business failed. Go to the malls around different parts of Africa. You will see many businesses that collapsed. Why? Because something didn't go right. Even when they approached the bank for more money, the bank couldn't give. Why? We don't trust you with our money. We only trust those that succeed. When you start business for the first time, no bank want to support you. A lot of banks don't want to come close to you. You know why? Because we don't trust that you can do well. We already believe that you're going to fail, so we're not giving you anything. Give us collateral means we're not sure you're going to succeed. Dr. Richie, what are you saying? Failure happens throughout our lives. It happens. It's just the type and the context that make it happen. And the consequence that change. Remember when you started working, what happened? Was it the first day you tried to work that you stood work? No. You failed. But what happened? You stood up again. Why didn't your parents beat you for falling? Elias, when you fell, tripped the first time, they screamed, they clapped for you. They said, come on, Elias, you can do it. Who was clapping for you when that business didn't work out?
Oh, my word.
All you heard was, I told you you're not going to work. Didn't I tell them? Oh, don't mind Elias. He thinks that he's going to do well in business. And even your friends will be the first to say, get a life. Get a life, my friend.
Get a plan B.
Yeah, get a plan B. You see what I'm saying? So we started it even to old age. Failure in exam, failure in school, failure in different parts of relationship failure. You may be listening to us tonight. You got a stigma of failure around you. We're here to encourage you. It's time to confront failure in your life. What are the lessons? 2 lessons before we shoot further. Lesson 1, number 1. Elias, are you with me? Y'all better take notes now. Failure is universal. Number 2, there is power in talking about failure. It makes failure look normal. It makes it look normal. But when we don't talk about it, it makes it look so big.
Yes.
In fact, we need to create an organization, or probably, because we people have what they call the TED Talk and all that. Maybe we need to create Failure Talk, where we meet maybe once in a month. Let people come and talk about where they failed. You see, we created this where people talk about where they succeeded.
Yes.
We need people to talk about. Imagine when I tried to do business, didn't work. You try to do business, you failed. And about 20 of us gather ourselves together, walk into a place. And what happened? And we find different people that are talking about how they didn't get it right. And then a coach stands up to say, where do we go from here? And begin to encourage. When you leave that place, you will leave a better and a stronger person. Do you know that if I ask you, okay, let me ask you. I didn't plan to ask you. Sorry, I'm already asking. Should I ask you, Elias?
Let's go, sir.
You sure?
Yes.
Have you ever failed before?
A lot.
What happened?
One was procrastination.
Okay.
At university, my first year, I failed a subject.
Okay.
Simply because of not adequately studying.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you notice? You told me why you didn't make it. You failed.
Yes.
Every failure is traceable to a story. Every failure is traceable to a story. If you change the story, you will change the result.
Wow.
There's a story behind every way you failed.
Wow.
Either somebody pushed you, or either somebody didn't want you, or either they didn't want you to come, or either you were not prepared enough. There's a story around every word of failure. And if we change that story, we talk about it, you will see something different will begin to happen. When we confront it, it loses the power it has. But when we don't confront it, it comes, it hits like Hurricane Harvey. It begins to batter everywhere and come with a flood that even overwhelms us to the point that it becomes a disaster zone. When we talk about our failures, there's a shared benefit, sir. What happens when we talk about failure? We have what we call shared benefit. The more we talk about our failures and experience, not as a pity party, but with the intention of embracing them, learning from them, and using them to help us to move forward, the less stigma there will be to failure. So what do we do to reduce our chances of failure? Somebody will ask me tonight. Adopt a learning mindset. This mindset is also what I call the growth mindset. It has been proved that well-being and confidence comes with it, because with a growth mindset, we are saying it is possible.
Yes.
We are saying something good can come out of it. It's a way of moving forward so that you don't get stuck in one place. It's a way of pushing so you don't get stuck yourself and then you give up on your dream. Here is an example. This situation has happened and I can't do anything about it. But what can I learn from it? What can I do differently next time? How can I use the situation to help me in the future? It has happened. I can't do anything about it.
Yes.
The glass is broken. There's nothing I can do. But what can I learn from it? What can I do different next time? Who has failed in this place?
Yes.
That I can learn from. I think you want to say something.
No,
I'm looking at you. So what else can we do to reduce failure? Don't expect to get rich quickly. That's very important.
Wow, that is important.
Don't expect to get rich quickly. There's nothing wrong with the church saying to us, it's my year of wonders. It's my year of productivity. It's my year of miracles. But do you notice that when September comes and nothing happens, you are under pressure? Why? Because When you even study the Jews, they talk about 10 years, 20 years. Great people think 20 years ahead. So every year I call it whatever name I'm going to call it, but it will go towards a particular year, which is about 20 years. You don't succeed in 1 year. You cannot be a billionaire in 1 year.
Yeah.
It will leave you. You don't gather well. You just got to be rich 1 week and you'll finish. But if you plan it, that in 20 years' time, this is who I become. So I can call it my year of this, my year of that. 2 words, 20 years.
What is the difference between short success or short-term success and long-term success?
The difference is that when you make it short, it's chunked. We call it chunking.
Okay.
Now you're able to chunk it small. You can. It's a big elephant, but you now want to eat it slowly.
Okay.
Now when you make it a long one, there is a neurochemical in your system. Now you're pushing me, sir. There's a neurochemical in your system. It's called the dopamine. Dopamine is what gives you the drive that makes you want to do what you do. It's dopamine that makes a lion wake up and chase an antelope because there is a reward in front coming. Now, when the reward is too far, that is a long-range goal, your mind, your brain cannot phantom it. It doesn't want to pick it.
Okay.
But if you make it a chunk thing, your brain can get it. The brain will know there's going to be a reward if I can do this now. It is actually dopamine that makes people want to smoke weed and all sorts of drugs.
Yes.
Because there's a promise that when you are taking this, when you are done, there will be an instant reward. So when you chunk it, when you reduce it, when you make it in bite, what you're doing is that you are giving your brain the right opportunity to receive it is possible. But when you see it is massive, your brain cannot quantum it, cannot pick it, cannot see it. It is too big, it is far, the reward is too far. The dopamine cannot pick it up. But when you bring it down, bring it slow, bring it small, in chunks, your brain can say, I can get it done. That's why it's easier to read a book 30 minutes a day than to read the whole book. And because when you look at the book, it is too big. You don't finish it. But you can say to yourself, I can do just 30 minutes. Or I want to finish the Bible, but I can take it bit by bit, 1 chapter a day. Somebody said, but I finished the whole Bible. No, that's you. That's you, man. This marathon, I can only handle 1 chapter a day. Now, when you do 1 chapter a day, believe me, your brain gets a reward. Tomorrow, your brain will want to do it again. And that is the spirit, that is the chemical connected to pornography. Because it tells you there's going to be an image. I told you that you don't get me into this space. Why did you ask me that question now? I don't want to get into neuroscience today. Okay, I'm not going to talk about.
Let's do this. Take a breather. Let's take a breather. 29.
You hit something, man. Let's take a break.
29 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. It is the TPS right here on Kofifi FM 97.2. We welcome you via YouTube. We welcome you via Facebook. We are on www.kofififm.co.za. That is the website. You can go in there, check us out. And we are live right here on Kofifi FM 97.2. We're going to take a breather. Don't go anywhere. Tell you, I asked the right questions. You better stick around.
p.m.
And we're back. It is 18:33. Kofifi FM 97.2, 27 before the hour of 7 o'clock. The name is Elias Lobakeng, and alongside me is Dr. Richie. We're talking about confronting failure.
Yes, sir.
I've learned something, that you need to create a space where failure can be discussed, in order that when we leave that room, that space, we walk out of there with failure being under our feet.
That's right.
Instead of it dominating our minds.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. The power is that failure should not be on top of us.
Yes.
We should be on top of failure. You hit it right. You hit it right. Now, I say that what to do to reduce chances of failure is don't expect to get rich quick. Now, it happens that you are being tricked many times to believe that you can get this super rich scheme, that if you just try it, you're just going to get that thing quickly like yesterday. Now, why is this dangerous? Even if that company or the individual or the marketer who uses your brain, because they know what they can give to your brain, because your brain is wired through dopamine for instant quick result.
Yes, sir.
That's why fast foods do well, because it gives instant result. Microwaves is instant result. And that's why when you go to a place and you want to use the internet, 5 years ago it used to roll, you didn't complain. But today, what do you feel, Elias, when you go to a place and it is so slow? You get angry because you want your reward now. I've clicked this, I want it today. And this is what is being used by marketers, because marketers study the brain of human beings and they use it in order to sell. They're going to kill me. In order to sell product. Have you ever wondered why you go to some shops? There's some chocolate stuff that you didn't take, but when you are now about to pay, all those things are lined on your left and on your right, and suddenly there is unnecessary queue. And when it is unnecessary, if you got a kid, instantly they may pick their hand and take stuff. Or you yourself will start looking at it and notice what you didn't take inside. When you now get there, they will now say special. And believe me, that special may be 1 rand. And you've gone to buy something of 50 rand you never planned for. It's all because they study the brain. You want instant result. So the same thing with people selling you the quick scheme stuff. Whoever says that it is easy, that it's going to work, believe me, they've done it and tried it through the years with errors of falling and rising and falling and rising. There's never going to be a time anybody will say, we had started it yesterday, it worked. I don't believe it was the day Steve Jobs created iPad that it began to work. There were a couple of days and years and months and disappointment and hurt that finally they got through to it. So before it happened to them, they have gone through failure, but they got up. Believe me, number 1, don't expect to get rich quick. Number 2, be prepared to spend time, Elias, learning about the area of your interest. Spend time to learn about it. Whenever you enter a field, whether it is new or old, you need to allocate what I call your non-working hours to learn and study that area. What people do sometimes is silly, is that because I feel like now printing these banners, instantly I quit my job. Hunger will meet you very soon. You didn't plan right.
You didn't plan right.
Elias, I don't know. Have you been to a zoo before?
Yes, I have.
Or even if you watched on TV, you've been to a zoo.
Yes, I have.
Have you seen monkeys jump? Do you notice it's so easy for a monkey to move to one tree to another?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Do you know why the monkey can jump from tree to tree?
It has calculated the distance.
And it is close.
Yes.
The trees are close. Now, if you put a tree here in Rutherford and put one in Santon, if the monkey should jump, the monkey will need an ambulance. Is she there?
Yes, sir.
So the only time a monkey can jump is that the monkey can easily reach the other tree. You don't leave your job if you don't hold on to something that is real. Hello? You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. Even monkey likes banana.
Yeah.
But do you know monkey cannot climb a banana stem because they don't go there?
Yes.
Somebody has to give the monkey the banana. So you cannot live a life where people just keep giving to you. So you jump because the trees are close. You don't leave what you're doing without holding onto something. You only hold. Then notice the monkey lets go and then is sure of the other one. You're not sure and you let go. So it is important to be sure. Somebody somewhere is sitting down and saying, but I believe in faith. I know, but you're going to go through stuff. Yo, hold it before you let go and then do something. So you've got to allocate time to learn about the area. Doing it wrong will cost you a lot, and it's going to make you to quit on time. So you're going to give up on your dream, on your vision. You know, there's nothing that breaks my heart like when I walk into a mall and I see a shop with a sign, sales, we are closing down. Trust me, it gives me tears. Sometimes I wish, can I have time with you? Who did you talk to? Who did you spend time with? Who was coaching you? Who worked with you? Did you see the sign? What did you do? Was there a time you needed to jump, you didn't jump? So what am I saying? Be prepared to spend time and learn about where you're going. Number 3 is allocate a specific amount of money on your learning.
Okay.
You got to spend money to learn. Your bank account and your credit card will be safe when your budget is connected to wisdom for what will produce income.
Powerful.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Powerful.
When you have a budget, you won't go into debt by buying every new offer and promise of instant success, but you invest in learning about how you grow in that industry. Like when I walked in, Pops was asking me, when are you traveling again for your learning?
Yeah.
I said, you'll be the first to know. And you asked me, why always leadership? I said, because the time for Africa to talk about Africa in leadership needs people that have gathered all the knowledge around the world. And we're now saying, now I've gathered all the ingredients. How do I make it African soup? Nobody knows Africa more than who calls Africa home.
Yes.
Did you hear what I'm saying? Nobody knows Africa more than who calls Africa home. No Western person knows Africa better than me in terms of leadership of Africa. I need your wisdom. I need the wisdom of people in the West. I need the wisdom of my fathers. I need the wisdom of the storytelling that African fathers and mothers have told us. It shows a lot of leadership and stuff. Go and find those stories that your grandparents told you, your parents told you. They gave you spirit. They gave you hope. That's what makes Africa who Africa is. Our story is original, but the best way to tell it for a result is when an African tells the story. But you know the bad news, Elias? When an African says, I'm doing a leadership workshop, and somebody from the West, I'm doing a leadership workshop, Africans will never come to an African. They will go to the West. And when they are done, they don't see the person from the West again. They paid more money, but they're not going to see the Western person again. But the African person said, I'm around in case you need help. No, I don't need you.
And the worst thing is you go to the West seminar and deal with knowledge that is only for the Western problems.
That's right.
You come back home and it cannot work.
No, you cannot implement it. You travel overseas, you attend a conference, and then you land in your church and want to implement it. Woe betide thee, what's going to come upon you? You must know the environment before you begin to do it. You must understand that Africans struggled, and all Africans struggled to get their independence. Now, when they were struggling, most of the African leaders were not prepared for leadership because some of them didn't even know it was going to come that fast. So when it came, governance was a problem for them. That's why African leaders need to have leadership and executive coaches to work with them, because the journey is not an easy one. Put your pride in your pocket and sit with somebody that will not look you in the eyes and lie, but look you in the eyes and say, sir, ma'am, you missed it here. If you continue this way, this is what you're doing to your people. This is the result of what you're doing. Now, it's important that as you start off, don't share. This is important. I don't know who God want to talk to about this. Don't share your plans with everyone. It's important. Why do you say that, Richie? You don't need an outside influence distracting you or talking about what you want to do to people that kill dreams. When Joseph announced his dream to his brothers, they were the first to doubt him. They were the first to create doubt in his spirit. They were the first to mock him. And when he shared it again, they said, we need to kill him. We need to kill him. We need to get him out of the way. There are people that wish that your vision will never come to pass. You don't share it with everybody. There is an outer court relationship. There's an inner court relationship. And there is a holy of holies relationship. In every book you read, my brother Elias, there is something called introduction. There is something called appreciation. There is something called chapter 1. There are names you see in appreciation you don't see in acknowledgement. There are names you see in chapter 1 that don't show up in chapter 2, chapter 3. But there are names you see from chapter 1 to the last part of the book. You know why? Because life is in chapters. You don't have to waste your time telling yesterday's people about what you're doing today. They are yesterday people, they are today people, and tomorrow people. You don't share the vision of today and tomorrow with yesterday people. John Warwick did a song that says, a fool will lose tomorrow, reaching out for yesterday. Everybody should not be told what you're doing. When you take the story that belongs to the Holy of Holies and share with other court people, you'll be rest assured that everybody knows about your story. And you know when you have shared it with everybody, there's a possibility it's been proved you will not do it. Because your brain has already received the reward.
Yes.
And you cannot push forward. I don't want to go into that now. Now, the next one is create a plan to follow through with your action. When you set out to create anything in life, it takes perseverance, it takes dedication, it takes action and determination to finish the race. Tell yourself that you won't stop your momentum until you've accomplished what you plan to accomplish. In life, when you want it so bad, be ready to make a fool of yourself. Everybody don't need to like you.
No.
The next one is, watch this, the next one is important. Those that made it have 6 things in common. Do I take it now? Those that made it, they have 6 things in common. And I want to talk about those 6 things right away. Number 1, each loved what they did and they were good at it. Number 2, because remember, you've studied, you've been trained.
Yes.
You've researched, you know what you're talking about. Number 2, each worked hard and they worked smart. Number 3, each faced tremendous challenges. They failed. You know the good thing, but they still got up when they were knocked down. The next one, number 4, is each of them achieved result well beyond expectation. Number 5, each engaged in intentional excellence. Number 6, they changed something. When it is not working, sir, something gotta change. There's a reason why. The person that is succeeding knows what you don't know, that you don't want to know until you ask them, then you gotta know. There's something you gotta change. There must be an adjustment. When I started trying my hand in golf, which I actually stopped anyway. Yeah. You know, every time I got to the golf club and to the golf course and I took the golf club, I was able to putt. One day I tried to putt a couple of times. It wasn't just working. So I saw one of the coaches. I said, excuse me, sir. He said to me, he was like, okay, what is it? I said, look, I'm trying to putt and I'm not getting it right. He asked me to position and do it. When I did it, he said to me, no, your stand. And he corrected my hand and told me to do it again. I did it. I got it. You know what he did for me? He helped me to identify what I was doing wrong, number 1. Number 2, he helped me to identify what I need to do right. Now, you know what it means? Success can be transferred when you learn how it is done. All he did was to help me to identify what to do. Now, remember when we started, I said something, sir. I said that you've got to have an expectation, and you have to have what I call the crystal picture of your expectation and the actions you need to take. But brother Elias, if you know and you write it down, what you need to do, when you write down what you need to do, what happened is that when it didn't work or when it doesn't work, what do? you go back to what is called the drawing table. Now you look at the steps you took. Which of these steps didn't give me my result? Which of these steps was wrong? But when there is nothing and you are just doing it blindly, even when you hit it right, you don't know how you got it. And that's why a lot of Africans cannot transfer wealth. That's why we suffer. We don't have a transgenerational wealth where nobody transferred, because if I use and follow the principle, I can easily teach you that principle.
Yes.
And then you can take it from here. The only thing we know how to transfer very well is how to drink alcohol. We are able to transfer the skill. No, this is how you hold your beer. Have you not heard that before? This is how you hold your beer.
Nah, this is how you pour it.
This is how you pour it. That's good. Now you know what I'm saying.
The other thing is we know how to transfer pain.
We know how to transfer pain and liabilities to ourselves.
Yes.
So, Elias, if I train you in school, it's your responsibility to train everybody. Not bad. Not bad. But we need to come to the point where our generation don't need our children to train their brothers and sisters or to look after us, because we've learned how to create transgenerational wealth that even my grandchildren will call me a great ancestor.
Wow. 18:49 is the time. Kofifi FM 97.2. I was going to go on a break, but let's rather ride it over.
No, if you want to go on a break, I'm cool with that.
We're going to go.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, yes.
Confronting fear. How then do we deal with the mentality of someone who has deemed themselves a failure? I failed so much in my life that I do not foresee anything other than me failing again. How then do we confront a mindset that has already been set that I am a failure? Because people come to that point where after we have been called failures, after we have been laughed at, being mocked, we take the stigma and we relate to it, and we become to believe that I am a failure, irrespective of how many chances Dr. Richie tells me that I have, irrespective of the room and the space that you create for me. How then do I start dealing with the belief that I am a failure mentality for me to confront it, understand it, and get out of it?
I give a little example of an incident. It's not failure, but an example.
All right.
Okay, I remember sometime, it was on a Val Triangle, and one of the young women I mentor told me about a young lady that they had stuff that happened to her, and they filmed it and all that.
Yes.
And then she has not been herself all the while it happened. That's years ago. And they've called people, all sorts of people to help. Nothing is working. They've even called prayer warriors. Nothing was working. She didn't want to go back to school. And she asked me, would you be able to sit with this kid? I said, yes, of course. And then I took my time and I drove down. When I got to that, I remember we met in a Wimpy restaurant, which is within a particular mall.
Yes.
And when we got there, and the mom tried to talk to me, I said, I don't want to hear a word from you. I want her to talk to me. And she began to talk to me. I asked the mom to leave us alone. I didn't want influence. And she started talking to me. There were certain questions I asked. And I asked her, what is your biggest fear? He said, the biggest fear is everybody knows about it. Everybody's laughing at me. Everybody's talking about me. I said, okay, let's take a walk inside the mall. And we started walking around the mall. Remember that some of these things that I'm educated to do this, but I also have the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Remember that.
Yes.
And then everywhere I saw people standing, I said to this young woman, they're talking about you. He said, no. I said, okay. We went and we walked and we walked and we walked and we walked around. I said, how come they're not all talking about you? She said, yeah. I said, you know what it means? You're not that important. All those people you see have their problems.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about you. Tell me, what do you like most? I heard you just had your birthday. You told me a scrapbook. I don't know what the scrap stuff all about. I said, let's go and pick. and we got there to pick the scrapbook papers, struck papers.
Yes.
And it was like looking at the price. I said, don't look at the price. Pick whatever you wanted. And then she picked. And then when we got back to where we were sitting, we were cracking jokes and laughing. And the mom came, tears in her eyes. I asked, why are you crying? He said, it's the first time in months I see a smile on my daughter's face.
Wow.
All I did was to change her perspective and the story she was telling herself and what she was looking at. Guess the next thing I told her? I said, here is the greatest punishment you will give to these guys. I want you to go back to school and be the top in your class. And she gave it to the guys.
Wow.
She became.
Wow.
So sometimes it is who do you talk to? It is who create that safe psychology for you to be able to connect to it. Because even though you succeeded here, you still fail somewhere else. There are things I tried that don't work out. There are people I call. I say, hey, I'm trying to get this. Then look at what I'm getting. What do you think? And the person will say, no, I've been through that. This is what I think you should do. And sometimes I pay. Yeah, I pay to learn. I pay to learn. I pay to grow. There is no day I'm not reading. There is no day it's not possible. There is no day. And I'm not exaggerating, my brother Elias.
Yes.
I've been up since 1 o'clock in the morning till now. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
Why? Because I know that God has called me to change how people think, how to think about who they are, what they do, who they do it for, and how they do it. It's about how do I push you to your greatness. Everybody will fail. How do you deal with it? Gotta talk to somebody. And you gotta talk to somebody that can, because the greatest power is hope. Greatest power. That's why God said, I know the plan I have for you.
Yeah.
I leave that for Sunday. 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, I leave that for that. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to fail again.
Yeah.
But it is what you do when it happens that makes the difference. It is who you talk to and who you sit with that makes a difference. And if you do not celebrate the pity party of why it didn't work out, that's where you have the power over failing. But as long as you celebrate pity party, oh, this is why I failed. It is who it is that. If you're looking for who pushed you, you're already finished.
Yes.
Les Brown once said that if you can look up, you can get up. If you can look up, you can get up. You know, sometimes we quote people and we pretend it's our own. That's why I try to remember who said what at what time, so you don't think it's mine. If you can look up, you can get up again.
Talking about the place that you find yourself when you failed. I read this this psalm on Sunday. On Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And it's actually saying exactly what you're saying. Psalm 1, verse 1, simply put, it says, blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. So it's your environment.
That's right, the environment, the ecology. And remember, the Bible also said that the righteous will fall. How many times? 7 times. But he will get up again. Then another place it says, my enemy, don't laugh at me when I go down, because I will come up again. Don't ever, where you are today, think that this is it. That when you fall, there is no other place to go. The only place to go, my brother Elias, is to go up. Because you cannot open the ground and go in. You're only going to rise up. You may be in a space today where everybody says to you today that you're not doing well, business not doing well. You have not failed. There is something you're not getting right. Sometimes you need to get somebody to sit with you. Somebody that will have an independent and objective heart to look at what are you doing wrong or right. Remember, they say, it is not my saying, they say that you don't see yourself in the frame. It is somebody else that sees you in the frame. You don't see your picture when you're in the frame. Somebody looking at that can tell you how you look. And you cannot see yourself, your face, Elias, as you're looking at me. I'm the one that knows how you look. I can even say you look ugly, but you're not. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can say how you look. Okay, but you need somebody else with an independent mind that will look at what are you doing. Let me tell you something. The reason why things work, they don't work, is the process. How did you do it?
All right.
When people like coach in those days, when we didn't do good in mathematics in school, so you sit with somebody, one joker, and the guy said, no, you can take the answer. And then you just look at the answer and you copy it and you move on.
Yes.
And then result comes out, you fail. He said, but I got it. The teacher said the formula. How did you get there? How did you get there? You have the answer, but how did you get there?
Yes.
Many of us have answers, but we don't know how we got there. And that's where we keep doing trial and error. But if I know how I got there, you need somebody to sit with you to identify how you got there. It helps you. And then the person will look at, then I'm going to ask you, Elias, when I work with you, when I coach people, I'm like, okay, how did you get to this result? No, I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to see your process. Then I need to know, is there an error in the process? Now look at what I do with clientele. When I now notice you've done it, and I can identify this is beyond the physical. It's time to get to the next level. We take it spiritual. Most people don't know that business is spirit. Oh, come on now. That's what I'm going to talk about on Sunday. Business is spirit. It's got spirit around it.
Yes.
So there's a point where we know now we need to grow your faith for something to happen in this place. We need to change your language. Because if you change what you say, you will change what you believe.
True.
There are things you ask me I purposely avoided because I'm going to talk about them soon. You talked about what happened. How do we get up again? And that's when I talk about experience. Experience will create a memory. Memory will create an expectation, and you are able to repeat the same until there is something we call pattern interrupt, where we interrupt the pattern that you use on it to create that same result. You will continue to produce the same negative result. It's a different ball game altogether.
7 o'clock it is. Kofifi FM 97.2. It has just went just like that.
Yes, sir. And I want to say thank you to my wife because she's really supporting whatever I'm doing. And she loves when I talk about the neuroscience.
Yes.
God bless you, us to me. Yeah, my wife's name is Tumi.
Tumi.
God bless you. I love you, man. I love you. And my boys. Yeah, I love you and boys. Yeah.
All right, have yourself a wonderful evening. Dr. Richie, thank you so much for your wisdom, and thank you so much for availing your time so that we sit around the table, like we say, and just sharpen each other.
Yes, sure.
Thank you so much to the Kofifi landers there who made it, their priority to listen. And we hope that you are encouraged. We hope that you wake up tomorrow again filled and inspired to go out there and do whatever it is that is necessary for your will and your purpose. The name is Elias Lobakeng, Dr. Richie alongside me. You can catch him on Facebook.
Yes, just Dr. Richard. Some of you are already beginning to like what we are doing, and we also encourage you to invite your friends and your enemies. And see you on Thursday. What time Thursday?
6 o'clock.
And we continue with Confronting Failure.
Check this out.
Florida, toekomstrust, Diep Kloof, Weltevreden Park, Horizon, Sebo.
This type of events, and from the feedback that we got from the ladies is that they truly enjoyed it.
Tune in and join us for the next Queens and Princesses event.
Want to be part of a women's empowerment experience where you can network and strengthen professional relationships? Queens and Princesses proudly presents In Her Shoes with guest speakers Volente Moraes, Charmaine Slade, and Rhoda Grootboom. On the 2nd of September at 10 a.m. at the Roodepoort Theatre for only 200 Rand per person. Bring out your best denim wear or anything blue and we'll see you there.
Awee maar se kinders, kom kuier saam in Kofifi land, waar ons jong en jukkerig is.
Staan het tel met ons velden. en waar ons piks en pluks is.
Kofifi land.
Waar ons is, wie ons is.